Can't all be
Alright, I'm here
perfect.
again.
I'm having a kind of a hard time hearing you, Dio.
I'm gonna have to get my headphones.
Yeah, I was on my camera mic. I figured I'd switch to my headphones. So what
Oh, you're
division are we
sounding.
doing first?
I'll probably do whatever Dio wants, three or four. It doesn't matter.
Alright. Yeah, I was having computer
There we
anxiety
go.
for
How
the
does that
tournament.
sound? Oh,
Much better.
that's a shame. Right, what am I doing? I've completely lost track of everything.
There are loads of stats.
So you're in control of everything there, Dr. Dio. So you kind
Oh
of
shit.
gotta guide us. Div 3,
Right.
Div 4, and just tell us what teams we're looking at, and Jigs and I'll pull them up and look at them. And Jigs, do you know? Are you fuck? Do you? You should be able to see from teams, right? Yeah. Okay. If you just go to like Blood and Tears and go to teams, you should be able to pull up the teams.
I'm all set up in the Blood Bowl League Manager on my computer. That's what I was kind of taking forever to do earlier because my computer was kind of, I haven't logged it in forever, so it was like doing all kinds of dumb shit and giving me anxiety. So like I was like, fuck. But yeah, I got all the teams written down and the coaches, so I can find them as easily as possible.
Look at this level of professionalism.
Oh.
I should I wasn't gonna go through and try to write a couple notes, but I was like, fuck that, I can just look at it. I'll wing it.
As it should be.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong league, that's why I can't find the team. And that's on the stream. Brilliant. Yep, everyone, I am that fucking stupid.
So are we doing a Division 3 or Division 4 first?
Might as well start with Division 4. I know these guys, or some of them. I played a bunch of them last season, they all kicked my ass. Right.
Sweet.
There we go. So, we'll start with K-Boy West. And Stove Og then. That disgusting undead team.
There we go. Got him.
Hey boy, West. There he is. Stub Ogben.
So we've got some undead here. We've got a couple of whites, one with the strength up, some guard, not too bad. A couple of zombies and a random smattering of skeleton. Looks like block on the skeleton, the dirty players on the zombie with block.
This is Division 4 Burzo.
4. Burzo! Frenzy Ghoul is very interesting. That's not a normal second or third skill for a ghoul.
I quite like it. He seems to be building the whites as support pieces and the ghouls to just do everything.
Cause mayhem.
And
score.
As always, whenever there's frenzy on a team, especially with reasonably mobile guard, you're kind of watching the sidelines constantly.
Right.
I can see that, especially with the movement. You know, 7 movement is a thing you got to keep an eye on. That's what makes werewolves so dangerous, right? I don't know if I like the frenzy though, because the frenzy is going to force you to put yourself into positions where that ghoul's going to get hit, and those fuckers don't regen.
But they're cheap.
I mean, but with the extra movement as well, I mean, they can always frenzy and maybe move back as long as you're watching where your friends are in, and you know, being smart about it.
That's like
what? Who does that?
K-Boy came second in the division.
I'm not saying.
The only guy ahead of him was Onanya, the Authority. So he knows
the
what
Authority.
He's doing.
The other thing I don't like is DP second skill. That's taking a guy who could be just a 60k fouler, and now he's an 80k fouler, so you're not quite getting all that value out of him. Essentially, in order to take that foul gamble, you might lose a block zombie and still have a fucking bear one on the field.
Yeah, I would rather put it on the kicker or put it first and then take wrestle after.
Yeah.
But it must have just been when he got Here's the authority now in the chat asking what he's missed, which is
Wasn't much.
60-40 split on I like Frenzy, Jim and Burzo hate it, and Jigsy, were you for or neutral?
I mean, I like it as long as they're using it smart. I mean, it's a cool skill to have on a ghoul. It's not normal. I mean, and having any frenzy piece on the field always makes other people think twice about sideline cages, stuff like that.
It's not even just the sideline cage, it's having a corner of your cage on that sideline.
Right.
Leaving a nice gap at the side for you to swarm in with the strip ball.
One other kind of a strange thing on this team, 4 rerolls. Feels a little bloaty. I presume that's maybe for the mummies without block at the moment, but you know,
I doubt it's for the mummies. I think it was more just a thing that he had from when he created the team before he got any skills.
Yeah. I mean, it's not right.
Honestly, don't see a need for the 4th reroll now. I'd even question having the 3rd one at times.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on your need
for it, but you know, everybody has a bad game. Nothing wrong with having an extra reroll.
Yeah, it just depends on your playstyle. I guess it'll afford him to take more chances, but that could be dangerous.
True. Yeah. Burzo's asking if he's able to join in, so he's welcome to jump in the chat whenever.
Excellent. Anybody else got anything on K-Boy's team here?
No. I like the cheerleader coach assistant thing, just to try and steal that reroll. Fairly often see teams with it.
I think I'd be okay with it if it weren't for that 4th reroll, but at that point you're giving up, you know, what, 70, 80, almost 100k, I mean almost 5 skills and having a reroll, a cheerleader, and 2 coach assistants.
I suppose, yeah, when you've got all 3 of it, it takes up 100k, so you could drop down to 1630.
It was my ad I just found Dio's Twitch. I was going to watch. And I had my phone volume on, so it was like...
Alright, well, should we stall here for a minute to get Burzo in and get his thoughts, or should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, he can jump in whenever.
You know what? There's one more thing on this that I don't like. All
You're
of the
going to say
ghouls
the
are
G up ghoul, aren't you?
No, I love that. I don't like that they're all block. He needs a wrestler.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the wrestle skill, but...
My thing is, I've been wrestling with that same, like, wrestle block thing, because that's the team I brought in to this league this season, is the Undead, and, you know, I don't know, I have a hard time taking wrestle just because, and I understand what it's used for, and, you know, I get why people use it, but it's just like, I've always played bashy teams where, like, you just take block, you know, so, like, I've just been having a struggle with that myself. I mean, so maybe he was coaching a long line of bash teams, because, like, in those teams you want your people standing up, you know, for the most part, and I get why they want wrestle on undead teams, because it, you know, okay, your guy can get back up, but I would say use wrestle more for the zombies or the skeletons than I would necessarily put on a ghoul, other than the fact that, because I want my ghouls on the feet, unless you're planning on getting jump up on the ghoul, or you already have jump up on the ghoul, I would say I'm fine with the block on the ghouls.
No, I definitely prefer one of the ghouls to have wrestle.
Well, you can't beat them.
Yeah.
Wrestle the strip ball.
Always upgrade the
maybe tackle. And he becomes your guy that you send after the ball carrier, and even in dire situations, you know, any dice you roll except for a skull is going to get the ball out of there for the most part.
Alright.
Yeah, even Gim's agreeing. The Viking is agreeing against the other Viking.
Well, let's move on. What's the next team, Dio?
The next one is Batman, which is
the Ice Phoenix.
And here I thought I was Batman.
Not anymore.
Well,
What is his name? Is it the Ice Phoenix or is it Ice?
B-Ice Phoenix. I can't see his team.
It's looking like they're coming in at 1760. Dark Elf, 3 rerolls, a cheerleader, and an assistant coach. Bat Cave is a level 1 stadium with a fan factor of 7.
How about this? Is it I''M Batman? Or is it just like I am?
I don't think he's got it in the league at the moment.
Back in 24/7.
Oh, Dio, you can do sneaky things. Go to any competition
And then invite
switch. No,
Yeah.
don't invite it.
it. Well,
No,
go to
don't
the
invite it.
screen to invite it, then I can look at it.
Yes, yes.
I could invite it just to send him random tickets.
Oh yeah, that's the sort of confusion we need. Oh man, this is hard.
There we go. Oh boy. I need to put more than just the...
I'm still trying to find it on this end.
Me too.
Got it. All right, I''M. If you search the name, and it'll come up.
There we go. Finally found it. Essential Sausages Stump Bumper, isn't it?
Yes.
I always love that.
Yes.
Twitch name. It's brilliant.
The most sensual of sausages.
Italian.
Jigsy. Jigsy, I know how you love the elves. Why don't you take the lead on this? Tell us what you see.
Well, I see
More obsessed collectors are not
elves.
bothered about waiting for the target player to finish
A lot of AG4 on this team. Anyway, though, I mean, his blitzers are looking pretty good, coming along. You know, Lodge, he's got tackle on 3 of them, sidestep on 2 of them.
Gimsey's dead elves.
Movement. Oh, he's got a down movement. Yeah, and he's got an extra movement runner though, which looks a little interesting. He's probably the scorer, I'm assuming, for the most part. 2 witch elves. I always loved witch elves. I love stomping on them. He's got a killer, a mighty blow tackle block one, and a ball hawk. Wrestle strip ball. You know, it's a fairly solid elf team. Adam West has a niggle, it looks like. And he's starting the season with a missed next game, it looks like.
No, he's not got a miss next game. He's all cleared.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's all cleared. Alright. But, yeah, I mean, other than the down movement on the block blitzer, I mean, the team itself's looking pretty solid. I mean, there's nothing that I hate other than the fact that they're
Talismans
dark
are
elves.
certainly making a splash on
I think
the
there's
item.
Elves in general.
one thing I'd consider different here,
More of an incendiary fire.
and that's he's
The
got
Raj
one
Lino.
guard on this team.
Yeah.
No, I'm good with the Raj Lino. That's fine. That's a self-protection device. Is what that is, because he could probably get up and get away and be all right. But the one dodge, or sorry, the one guard, and doubles on the Lino. You got 4 blitzers up there. Maybe a couple of them could get some guard and give you that help, because you can't rely on doubles for linemen to get the guard that you need.
You need doubles
Dar-
on the blitzers too.
No, you don't.
Elves don't get strength access.
Ah, that's right. That's right. I'm drunk. So if I'm gonna if I'm going to bring my advice to a core here, it's roll more doubles.
The only other one that could have had guard is the Witch Elf, and you're not wanting to put her in contact.
I don't mind being in contact with the Witch Elf. But yeah, no, I entirely wrong there. But it is a thing that stands out. Generally, at this point of a development, you'd see more guard than the one, but he could have had bad luck, you could have had some death. I can understand it.
The Authority murdered 3 of his guys in their last match, which explains why they're a little light.
I would say this is a pretty healthy looking team then.
Yeah, there's nothing outstanding on them, but there's nothing detrimental either. Again, they've gone for the cheerleader coach assistant to get the free rerolls.
Very sneaky.
X3 sponsoring the sport.
What do you guys think about that runner?
I like it.
I mean, I like
He's
the
building
runner,
it to not get hit. Put Nerves of Steel on it, and you've got a 2+ pass, pretty much regardless.
I mean, I like Dark Elf teams that get the second runner, because they can set up that, dump off pass. I mean, I guess they can with anybody with all that AG4, but, the runner's good. I like it.
He's got 12 guys on the team, so he could get a assassin for a little bit of fun when he gets the right opponents.
I don't know if I'd call that fun. Yeah, alright. I see a pretty strong elf team here.
Shouting for a leader on the runner.
Yeah, that's like the reason to take a runner, because of the pass access.
I don't think it's really in a state at the moment when it needs to save 30k for a guy that will just be targeted constantly.
The accurate early is a bit unusual, I think. I don't know if it's wrong or anything, but I feel like, especially if he's going to be a ball carrier, which, if he's got dump off, why wouldn't he be a ball carrier? Then maybe that blodge is helpful. At least dodge.
Right.
Well, blodge means that you're planning on using the dump off, letting him get hit. Accurate means that you're going to protect him without letting him get hit.
Yeah.
It just needs strong arm now.
Passer.
Man, I wish I could plan on leaving my fucking ball carrier blank. That'd be nice. That's not how it works for me, but fuck, it works for him. All right.
Right.
All right. Anybody else have any insights here? Anything? Any comparative ideas between the undead we looked at and these dark elves?
No, both are very solidly built. There's not many stat ups or doubles on either team. They're both relatively similar in that regard. Personally, I wouldn't really want to play either of them.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Alright, who we got next?
Some idiots team, which would be mine.
Oh. The Rampant Scotsman. What, tell me about your team name. What is that all about?
Well, the Rampant Lions are flag, and they're Scotsmen.
Aha. That was more simple than I expected. You got a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So this is your first time playing Bretonians. Tell us a little bit while we're looking it up about your experience in the Bretonian ways.
Still trying to learn them. I'm enjoying them in that they really mess with the opponent's plans. And there's... Yeah, I just like messing with people.
Noble
Never
cause.
would have guessed.
So you're coming in a looks like a healthy 500 TV below that last team.
Yeah, I'm doing my run for inducements.
Did you get any good stars with Bretts? I don't even know what they get.
Morg, Zara, Griff. So Zara's strength 4 blodge with stab. Griff's strength 4 blodge fend. He's either movement 7 or movement 8. And the authority is saying fucking Zara. Because when I played him, I just kept planting it on top of his skinks, because she's got tackle as well, and forcing him to dodge away. And then he would leave her on a Saurus, and I think she successfully stabbed 2 of them.
Tell me a little bit about 2 rerolls on your team. This early in development, that seems like a little bit of a low number. I'm not against it, but does that fuck with you at all? Being that, obviously the Knights and the blockers have wrestle or block, but you still got a lot of linemen that have to move into position and be especially annoying.
Well,
2 rerolls works.
The linemen are AG2, so if they're tied up, they're tied up. Usually I rely on the fend to be knocking them loose. Which also kind of explains why I take so many hits. Yeah, I have a really bad habit of not re-rolling much, so I don't generally need more than 2 rerolls.
So it's just a playstyle call.
Pretty much.
Tell me about Godfrey the Green. That looks like a lazy motherfucker. Either he's going to wrestle you down or he's going to dive and tackle you down. Either way, he's going to be on the ground.
That's going back to my kind of favourite double in Dwarves, diving tackle. Rolled the double, and I intend to build these guys pretty much the exact same way as Dwarf blocker, of stand firm, guard, and tackle. But he got a nice little double, so now I can put stand firm on a diving tackle.
I see. Well, I think I've seen enough. This team sucks. Jigs, what do you think?
I'm in agreement. But, Bretts are, super annoying to play. Just because all the fend and the dumb shit that happens. I mean, they are what they are. Linemen die, and the Knights and Blitzers and Blockers, whatever they are, they all, they all do shit. So, I mean, he's got two skill ups. He's got an armor down on a Blitzer, a niggle on a lineman. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's standard. Yeah, I mean, it's for 1250. I mean, it's not a bad team. It's got some guard in there. Got his weird diving tackle piece. He's got a muddy blow piece. I mean,
Tell me about the 3 blitzers. Are you going to be bringing in the 4th, or just sticking with 3?
Whenever I've gone up to 4, they've died. So I'm sticking to 3 until I can get the blockers leveled up a bit to protect them. And then I can get in a 4th one.
yeah.
Because otherwise, if I've got all 4 of them, when you've got the 4 blitzers, the 4 blockers, that just leaves you 3 linemen for the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So, if I'm hearing you right, what you're saying is every other team in this division is fucked, you're going to kick their ass, and nobody has a chance against you.
No, most people are going to kick my ass. But I'll annoy the shit out of them in the process of it.
And that was an awfully long way to say yes.
Right.
Anybody have any final thoughts on the Bear Burts here? Actually, I do want to know. You took movement up on the first night after the dodge there. What is his plan? Is he going to be a ball carrier, or what are we going to do with movement guy?
Pretty much, yeah. He's going to be the ball carrier.
Okay.
So probably sure hands on him next. I'm not used to dealing with teams like this where you've got a few guys that need to do pretty much everything. So obviously the Mighty Blow guy's going for the tackling. The armor down guy will probably be a kind of utility piece.
The armor down guy is just going to try to survive.
No, he's going to do what he's told. If he dies, he dies.
Fucking Dio. Scary ass coach for a little dude. Alright.
It's always scary for the guys on my team.
Yeah.
Next is Fantastic Dr. J.
Ah, yes. The good doctor. Wait, he's playing dwarfs, isn't he?
Chaos Dwarves.
Ah, the bad doctor.
What's his
bruised willingness?
Bruised willingness, that's it. There we go. 1540
Got a
charge.
cheerleader. He's got a cheerleader, 4 rerolls,
Certainly got their
and
hands
factor
deep into
5.
blood bowl.
Level 1
You think,
stadium.
Bob?
Oh, he's got a minute
A
or
lot of
two.
rerolls
I
in
like
this
it.
division.
It's not him.
Everybody but Dio has crazy rerolls.
With Charfs with 4 rerolls, you'd probably be looking at glory rerolls to steal casualties. Interestingly, he's not done a healing on this team.
No, indeed.
So he's got 3 guys missing the first game, including 2 of the Charfs.
He's taking the old Dio method.
Pretty much. If they aren't on the pitch, they can't die.
150k in the bank, a couple guys hurt. Do you think maybe he's just going to make some last second moves? Maybe bring in some new players?
I would fire the Broken Goblin and take in 2 more. Other than that, would you fire the Armor Down Charf? Despite the guard?
I'd fire all the Chorfs. I'd fire them all. Throw them in the fucking incinerator.
Well, he's got a piling on guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm not super fond of chores.
Oh, I hate
Coaching
playing
them
This
or
is
playing against them.
He's using the bull as the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. The break
And-
tackle strength up.
And a backup goblin ball carrier too.
Oh no. Yeah.
I would venture to guess that the Goblin is the main ball carrier. I think that Bull is more for picking up the ball in the backfield if he gets a sack or something.
And then running it up to the centaur and passing it off so he can use his sprint.
Fast.
I don't know what good kickoff return would be as a skill if he wasn't using that guy as the ball carrier.
Right, in the backfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that
Frenzy
makes
also on a...
Oh.
But
Frenzy and a Chorf.
yeah.
It could be useful. He's lacking guard for it to be brilliant, but when he gets a few more guard on the team, I reckon that'll change.
I'd like Frenzy on like a Bull. I don't feel like the movement's there to really... I mean, you want your Chorfs tied up and punching things, right? I don't know. Having 4 movement and Frenzy is a terrifying proposition to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But a lot of strength on this team. You got 2 strength 5s, 2 strength 4s. That's pretty good for a fucking Chorf team. Minnow, the Chaos Minnow gets mutation access, right? Only on doubles?
On doubles.
In doubles. So he went Jugs and he went Guard. Any...
Sensual Sausage has shouted, they're all Bruce Willis characters. So they are. I did not notice that.
I think I only recognize John McClane and Corbin Dallas. Oh, Hardigan from fucking Sin City.
We got Frank
Alright.
Moses, Jack
good.
Mosley. Okay. Where's Frank Moses from again?
From Pulp Fiction.
Poor Jack is shouting that he should buy another reroll.
So this team doesn't have the classic claw and such that you'd see. It doesn't seem he's gotten lucky with the doubles. Definitely a few interesting skill choices. looks like he's taken a bit of a beating, but Dr. J is a pretty decent coach. I think he's going to find a way to do some things here. I could see that Minnow finding his way to the glue factory here before too long, though.
Either that or he'll become the second marker.
No. We don't need a second marker. One marker is too many.
He's gone for the one cheerleader but no coach assistant.
Very sneaky.
So it seems that pretty much everyone so far, apart from me, has had a cheerleader. And most of the guys have had coach assistants as well.
So essentially your 2 rerolls is gonna fuck you.
Not really. If you don't use a reroll, it's not going to make any difference.
I can't take away what I don't use. Anybody have any closing thoughts on Bruce's willingness?
I believe they have plenty of thick skull.
Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Hard-headed mofos.
I kind of want to see him take it on the hobos now.
Right.
Yeah, I reckon if he swaps in a couple of new hobgoblins, then that'll be him set for the first game as well. They're always a nightmare to play against. I think
so who do we have?
The next team
next?
is Momo.
Momo.
Oh.
If I remember right, his team name was like
Dreams. Mother Dreams.
There it is. Chaos. Which is nice to see because before Chaos, he was playing dwarves, and nobody likes dwarves, so it's good to see him taking a switch to, wow, look at all that mighty blow.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to find it.
Lots of mighty blow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mighty blow.
3 claw.
How's the missus, Bob?
Ex-missus.
Pretty gross. Definitely gross.
She took everything.
He's got an AG4 extra arms ball carrier.
7 mighty blow. I missed one.
That mighty blow is sneaky, man. It'll get you when you least expect it.
Yeah.
So he's got
AG extra arms.
AG extra arms is not the ball carrier. That's a receiver. That's legit a receiver.
Right.
Down further, he's got pass extra arms block, which I presume to be the thrower.
There's thrower. Yep.
These are fucking chaos elves.
Yeah, they were an absolute nightmare to try and deal with when I played them.
Yeah, I can see why. He's got a food area as the enhancement.
Don't forget,
He was so caught up
One cheerleader.
in the idea that he could, that he didn't stop to think if he should. These are real chaos
got
elves.
the cheerleader and coach assistant, so I might actually need to buy some.
I mean, he only has 3 rerolls, though. I mean, it's a pretty heavy reroll division.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch this division because everybody after watching this is going to be like, well, fuck these guys. I'm going up to 3 coach assistants. And then, like, everybody else is going to have to top them.
So, seemingly Burzow's kid thinks one of us is a wifey and that we swear too much.
Sounds like Dio.
I don't fucking swear.
So this team looks like Murder and Pain to me, and it has the added caveat that they're going to throw the ball and catch the ball, and then mock you relentlessly.
It's definitely possible.
I'm getting into trouble from Burzo now. I better stop.
Claw, Tense, and Guard on the minnow is a good build in my opinion. I like that. I might consider even like a stand firm after that and make it just a real giant pain.
Yeah, unless he gets blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, I see no way of properly dealing with this team. went out for pain before it even considered protecting itself with the Mighty Blow and all the Chaos Warriors before the block.
To join Skink's Fitness Club,
Well,
all you need to
I,
do is sign a 500-year contract.
I think there's legit too much Mighty Blow on this team.
They only sacrifice you to Sotek.
Like, it's at a point it becomes bloat where you're not using it, and you can't realistically expect all 6 of those guys, 7 of those guys to be taking hits every turn. So, you know, maybe there is a better way to do it, but I presume he's probably trying to go the quick leveling way. He's just trying to skyrocket that TV up to get all the skills that he wants, so, you know, it's not wrong. It's not bad,
Yeah,
but at a certain point...
Playing last season to maintain the team, to develop it, rather than to win the games.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in both accounts. I guess it does open more options, but, you know, at that same point, maybe, you know, if you had all of those as tackle rather than Mighty Blow, maybe that would afford even better options, you know, depending on what team you're playing.
Well, maybe he's planning on putting tackle on all of them. He just
Well,
hasn't gotten to it.
that doesn't help him right now.
Chaos Dwarf Elves.
No, not Dwarf Elves.
But what I did notice, he's got a 7 movement Beastman, so he may be looking to make another receiver or, you know, a runner.
Or he could just build that one into a sacker, put on 2 heads and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going with it, but I just found it interesting. Instead of the 8th Mighty Blow, he went movement.
The man has to have priorities.
They've got so many twerps coming through.
No, I mean, all in all, it's...
Wondering which way he's going with it, but yeah, it looks like a scary team. I wouldn't want to play it with my undead. That's for sure.
How did he end up? You got BB2 League Manager. How did he end up last season?
5th.
Who, me? Now you're asking
He was
me to
5th.
do stuff?
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure he was.
Where do I go? Standings?
Yeah, and I was just curious what his record was.
His record was...
Yeah, he finished 6th, sorry.
Yeah, he's 6th. He
With
was
what record?
2 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses.
Oh, wow.
So he drew with Ice Phoenix and the Elves. He lost 2-0 to K-Boy and the Undead. He beat Bruised Willingness 2-0. He lost 1-0 to the Authority. He lost 1-0 to some dumbass. He won 1-0 against the Marvelous Madmen, and he lost 2-1 against At War with Satan.
Huh. So definitely a rough season. But I think that this is a team that as the TV grows, so will the results. He's just building up a mass killy mess over here. And unless somebody fouls the shit out of it and breaks it, it's gonna keep on going up.
Yeah, I reckon it's designed to... Oh, my controller just died. I reckon it's designed to screw with the orcs in Division 1.
What orcs in Division 1?
Is there not orcs? There's usually about 3 or 4 orcs in Division 1 and 2.
No. Silent Thunder, I think, could be the only orc in either division, I think. I don't know, I'd have to double check. But, alright, who do we got next?
After Momo, it's Yuan. Oh.
So these poor guys are playing pretty much the same people they played last season?
Was Yuan with us last season?
At War with Satan, right?
Yep, At War with Satan.
Yeah.
I see a lot of armor value down. I mean, it's elves, so I'm happy about that, but...
Don't be happy.
I mean, I like elves with less armor, they break easier.
No,
Step on them.
Not ideal. It's not the way it's supposed to be.
He's got a double armor value down on a blitzer. He went to hell and back. Is his name. To hell and back. He's been stepped on a few times.
Ooh, Jim will like that runner. Strong arm.
Oh yeah.
That's not my battle. That's that does hurt my eyes though. It does hurt.
There's a lot of armor down on this team. And they're sitting at this, but they've got a nice amount of Mighty Blow. I would have changed one of those to guard. And he's got 3 rerolls with a leader reroll, as well as the cheerleader and coach assistant that everyone seems to have. So he's sitting very high TV for what he's got with this team.
Plus an assassin.
The assassin's good. There's no one in this, apart from me, there's no one that you can properly use the assassin against in this division, really, so far.
Yeah, he's a... It's a...
Jim's a little confused at the leader on a blitzer, which seems he thinks it should have been piling on, which, to be honest, I agree. Unless that was the second blitzer to get the double, in which case it should have already had guard instead of the 2 Mighty Blow.
Yeah, I mean the leader should be on the runner. If it's even going to be taken at all. With 3 rerolls, you don't really need it. I don't know if maybe he forgot to nuke a reroll or something. But, I mean, he's coming in at the same TV as the Undead team was, and has much less skills. I mean, Phoenix's team is much more cut than this team.
Yeah, he's
I think
sitting very high
just
TV, and I don't see anything outstanding for what he's got on the team.
Yeah, just based on what I see, I think this might be a difficult season for Dr. Wan. He's going to have a hard time keeping those elves on the field, because, I mean, the Witch Elf maybe you can protect, but, you know, a Blodge lineman with AV6, he's a target. He's got an interesting...
The good thing about that Blodge lineman is he is a target and he's got Blodge, but you get a couple guys with tackle on him,
Yeah.
he's bound to go off. Unless
And
he's
to be
hit
fair,
by my mummy, and then I'll hit him 13 times and only knock him out after the 13th time.
To be fair, so far through the division, we've not really seen that much tackle other than like the Chorfs. So he may be okay.
So he might be alright.
The next team is Dwarves, so...
Fucking Dwarves.
Those glorious bastards. Sorry, Barzo.
Who's the next team?
Not as much as the next guy.
The next team is J-Rider.
Oh, J-Rider.
J-Rider.
That guy, he and Jigs and I had a glorious evening the other night.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Actually hates sport and would rather play with
Yeah,
action figures
it was
instead.
fun.
This has
One of my
nothing
2 wins.
I like
in my 2
dwarves,
games of
honestly.
childhood. I have a hard time not liking dwarves.
What is wrong with you two?
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Look at this. I'm falling asleep just looking at this team. At least it's got a death roller.
You gotta have a death roller. I love death rollers.
So I see
I want to make
a lot of
like
block.
a lawnmower that looks like a death roller.
Oops.
A lot of block, a lot of tackle. A lot of Mighty Blow coming in. Some guard.
Oh, that poor blitzer, Sandman. He piled on onto one of my guys, killing him the first block of the season. He then got retaliated with a stamp to the face, and that was the end of his game. Turn 1.
Well, now he moves 4.
Yeah, now whenever he piles on, he can only move 1 square afterwards.
He's got a limp.
But I like the amount of guard that he's gone for. The guard before Mighty Blow. And he's got the diving tackle as well.
He's got plenty of guard.
This is a very deal-looking team.
That's a very
let me ask you about the Mighty Blow pylon on a Blitzer rather than a Troll Slayer.
I would put it on, but at the same time, as long as he learnt from last season of where to pile on, not just to use it every block. Because the last thing you want to do is pile on and then give 2 assists onto a foul before they've even had to move any guys.
You're not supposed to pile on every turn?
You are supposed to pile on every turn, otherwise it's bloat. The key is you just gotta waddle him up to something that costs more than 120 value, and that way you're getting at least a fair trade.
And he's only got 1 runner, which is a bit strange. I'm wondering if they died or something.
He's doing that whole thing where you just don't let your ball carrier get hit.
And he does have
I think Jim has
3 bright. So his death roller in most games is going to be on for more than 1 drive.
Tell me about that skill. Does the fucking death roller really need guard with the rest of the team the way this is? Is that the best skill for a death roller?
He's got pretty much every single strength skill there already is. I'm trying to remember which one. Grab is probably the only one that he doesn't start with that's useful.
And strong arm, of course.
Multiple block.
Oh, I did say that's useful. He literally has no use for strong arm. He has no hands.
That's what But yeah, no, these are gross dwarfs. They suck. I hate them. No cheerleaders or coach assistants, so he's gonna get reroll fucked. But only 3 rerolls.
Yeah,
he needs them for.
He's got all the guard he needs, so regardless.
Break tackle digest. That's what he needs them for.
And that's got a loner anyway. You just get pro instead.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a free reroll, who cares? Can you get? What do you think about that agility up blitzer? Given the other one is kind of the killer.
So I've just got to mock something that the authority says. Every death roller has break tackle. That's why every one of them are fucking glorious.
I've always been a fan of it.
And yeah, Gim mentioned the strip ball on the Troll Slayer as well, which is a little bit strange because he's not exactly going to be cage diving very often.
I think he needs leap.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back on board. Finally some dwarves I can get behind.
If he puts leap on the Troll Slayer, any talk of that strip ball being bloat is gone. Because no one will want the ball carrier anywhere near a flying dwarf.
I just have visions of like a bunch of dwarfs just leap and they'd all just jump in the air and then fall and die, and it's beautiful. Splattering dwarves all over the pitch.
I mean, I don't feel like they could jump high enough to splatter Jim.
You're right. They'd do that jump thing and they'd probably run into like a mummy's fucking jockstrap and be impaled. Just as beautiful in my mind.
Okay, so no, the authority's more commenting on how break tackle's not used very often. But to be honest, I love dodging with a big guy. When you dodge with Morg and slam him into a cage, it's hilarious.
I would imagine in that instance that break tackle is more for cage diving, no?
It's for moving him wherever the hell you want him to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, on a cage dive, he doesn't really notice that there's any tackle zones.
Yeah, that's why I would use it for cage diving. What the hell? Alright, who's our next guy?
Next one is, I've changed page so I can't see it. The next one is the last one for Division 3, which is Pongheims.
Oh, yes. Moved up 2 divisions this season.
And after
winning
watching
his...
most of these teams, he's probably going to be wishing that he hadn't.
Lots of Dark Elves in this division. That'd be the third Dark Elf team.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Can't find them.
Cane kisses. There we go. 1890. It's a very high TV team. No cheerleaders, no coach assistants. Ooh, but it's a nice team. It'll be a little bit annoyed about where the strength up appears, but this is a nasty team to play against.
Why is there so many Canes? Is it like a fucking...
It's the Dark Elf God Kane, Khaine.
Yeah.
Good gravy.
I'm looking forward to the next match, Joe. Time for some Blood Bowl.
Alright, got him. Game on. So we've got some very nice white and red uniforms. Lots of red on this team. Movement, agility, strength. It's gross.
So, 2 agility 5 blitzers means that you can't leave the ball on the ground anywhere, especially when one of them has leap. A nice movement up, movement down blitzer again. And it seems to be a common thing for Dark Elves, it seems. Up and down! The strength 4 sacking Witch Elf with wrestle. I suppose next you put either tackle or leap onto her, and she just goes into cages and assist, and just removes that ball.
Yeah, she's a stripper, definitely.
Definitely a stripper.
I would have probably wanted the strength 4 on with the mighty blow, but you can't really complain about Nuffle too much for giving both.
No. Definitely could work with this team and do some damage. Lots of blodge step. He's got leap already on the G5. I think it's gonna be a goddamn nightmare.
A couple of Rog Linos, so he could potentially be fouling with his unskilled guys.
Maybe.
12 players.
Potentially.
No runner. I think this is the first Dark Elf team we've seen with no runner.
I think this is the highest TV we've seen too, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, 1910. They have 10, what is it?
It's 1890.
Oh, 1890, yeah, they have 10 fan factor. Only 3 rerolls, though.
One extra guy, so...
And he's giving away a free wizard with every game.
Ooh, free wizards.
Oh, yeah.
But I reckon with
that witch...
the double AG5, the free wizard's going in his favour rather than anyone else.
So it's spite bolt time. Are you going to use your bolt to fucking nuke one of the AG5s or one of the witches?
Gonna use it to keep the ball off them by not using it.
God damn it, I said spite bolt, not strategic bolt.
Yeah, I'm hitting that.
Spite means that you need to care about something.
Wow. You don't want to kill something?
I'm lightning bolting the strength 4 witch elf, and then I'm stepping on it.
In that order.
And I don't even care if it died first. I'm still gonna step on
it. Yeah. Apoed back, and Jigs is like, "Nope, you did still."
She's getting one from Dick Hardbone.
So we've made our tour through all of Division 4. Why don't we start with Jigs, and then Dio, and then I'll pick one. Who do you see being one team to promote? And as all 3 of us pick one team, hopefully we'll guess all three of the teams they're going to promote.
I was gonna say dwarves, but I don't want to steal Dio's. I mean, to promote, I would say I would have to pick. I mean, probably the dwarves. I mean, they just with all that garden stuff. I love their death roller. I don't know.
Gross.
Good team.
So gross.
I'm stealing Dio's anyway, so yeah, the dwarves.
All right.
I mean, I'd say elves, but I hate elves, so fuck them.
Dick.
They should go down.
Why did I agree to this?
Because you secretly hate elves and you just needed people to speak your mind while you pretend not to.
No, that's probably not it. What? Who are you picking, Dio? Who's going to promote?
See, I can't choose between K-Boy and Ice. The undead or the first Dark Elves.
Man, I really thought you were going to go with those 1250 Bretts.
No. They're just going to piss people off. They're not going to win.
For the 1250 bread.
The Guild of Bandits and Affiliated Trades.
I'm an honorary.
No, they've just...
Yes, I saw your
They're not really lacking in anything, but they're not really...
last year's GBAT awards.
They've both got solid,
Was really quite wonderful.
as well as both coaches are absolutely brilliant.
Which one has less reroll and cheerleader assistant coach bloat?
I think that was Ice.
There you go. We have a winner. No, you certainly don't have to use that criteria.
No, we'll go with it since I couldn't decide, so that'll do.
Alright, so we've got J Rider moving up as Filthy Dwarves. We've got some Dark Elves for Ice. I too would strongly consider K-Boy. I would consider Momo. But I don't think we can pass up Pong and his cane kisses. I really think that the dual AG5, the strength up on the witch, I think everything is well placed on that team. It's very trim 1900 elves. It's going to be a nightmare for a number of teams. Plus, he's given a free wizard, but he's also taken a wizard away, right? Most of these teams are 1700 range or so. He's at 1900-ish. That's a fucking free wizard. So now they have to do something else with that and do some money. No surprises here. I get a wizard too.
It seems that most of the crowd are agreeing with you. Berzo, Fantfox, and Gim, with Onanya, the authority, voting for K-Boy.
Yeah, it's a good undead team. I could certainly see it. But, I don't know. This division could go a lot of ways. It's really going to come down to who has to play Momo and die, and who they play the next week.
Yeah, that's it. It's when you roll against Momo, J-Rider, and was it Fantastic? That was the Chorfs?
Chorfs, yeah.
That's when you roll against those
three
three teams.
First three
could
games,
be the...
That team's probably not gonna promote.
No, you said that wrong. That team's probably not going to exist.
Right. Right. If you play those three teams first 3 weeks, you're gonna have a rough week, a rough season. Oh wait, so did I hear the Bretts have that schedule?
No, I get to start that competition. I get to know when they go. For the record, I don't. Shh.
Alright, well let's do we want to do a quick break and then head to Division 3, or do you want to hop right into it, or what are we feeling?
Free to just hop straight back in, or keep going.
Let's do it.
Do we not need another cancer stick, Jigsy?
No, I'll be fine. No, I'll be fine. I fed the tuberculosis before we started.
What?
I said I fed the tuberculosis.
There's a lot of diseases you can get, but I don't think tuberculosis is one of them.
I mean, not from
It affects the lungs, so...
It helps feed it, you know what I mean?
I see.
Once you have the TB, you gotta start smoking so you get that nice cough with the blood and stuff.
Do you ever think about playing Nurgle? Nurgle might be a good fit for you. Yeah.
Fuck Nurgle.
What? God
Yeah,
damn it.
Every time I play Nurgle, my fucking Nurgle warrior dies, and then I have 3 Nurgle warriors, and it pisses me off. Yeah, I don't know. You know me,
Deal,
I
who we're
got
looking at?
terrible dice.
So the first one for Division 3 is Jarvo and the Orcs,
Jarvo.
which is one of
Jarvo.
the teams that I reckon Momo is hunting for. Oh,
If I
fuck
remember
me.
correctly, these guys
Oh.
were the Achilles team in all of the league last season. Or maybe the injuryist. I don't remember. One of the two.
Well, Jim knows how much I like orcs.
Yeah, you're going to be disappointed. There's no goblins on this team.
Ugh.
But there's a
That's
few
cool.
stat ups.
A
I
few.
see the 4 on 1. He's got strength, movement, AG5, blitzer. What kind of vats is he growing these orcs in?
So, yeah, there might be some performance enhancing drugs going on over this situation.
The only thing I know about this team is that they lack a bit in guard.
They got 4. I mean,
Yeah, they've got 3 on the Black Orcs, which are relatively easy to tie up.
right.
The Authority just spilt his drink, spitting out at that blitzer.
Right.
That blitzer
Blitzer's crazy.
gross. That thrower is gross.
I even like that Strength 4 blitzer with the Mighty Low tackle piling on him Frenzy. If you survive
like
the
it.
first hit, you're dead on the second hit.
Right. No, yeah, he's good.
What do you guys think about that thrower? I think I would have nuked him with the movement 4.
Movement 4.
Yeah. Plus, why the
So-
fuck does he have dump off?
Because you've got an
Because
Agility
before he
5
got-
blitzer to catch the ball.
No, you don't.
Oh.
An Agility 5 catcher is going to spend the entire time running for his life because everything's going to try to kill it.
Then nothing's going to be hitting the thrower, so you don't need to use dump off. Problem solved.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you
god.
can just run your 4 squares all the way down the field. Everybody's chasing that giant fucking blitzer.
So you're
He's
saying that
too
dump
fast
off
to catch.
is 20 TV of taunting. That's just saying,
Right.
you're not going to hit me.
Pretty much.
This is the psychological element of Blood Bowl I just don't grasp still.
But yeah, I
Talk,
would
he's
keep
a
it
monster.
just to
Yeah,
keep
Talk
the
is
ball off of the blitzers. Because which blitzer are you going to give the ball to, other than the thing that's no longer a orc?
Yeah,
Uh,
somewhere.
yeah, okay. I don't know. It just feels like that dump off is a good reason to turn over unexpectedly.
I probably would have given him like strong arm or something.
He needs a double for that, which would have been
I will
the
reach-
dodge at the
Oh.
end.
Right.
We'll reach through this fucking microphone and slap you.
Why? Because then you could throw it farther.
He's a fucking orc.
Doesn't throw it further.
He's an orc. But his arm's
He does have a
stronger.
catcher. He does have an agility
Okay,
5,
Hail Mary
and it is
pass,
catcher.
then.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's got this AG5 guy. You could just bomb it to him.
I'm not sure if I have a fucking hangover or a headache from dealing with you guys.
A little
Probably
column A, a
both.
lot of column B.
So, 2 rerolls on this team, which I think is fair. Got the APO, no cheerleaders, no coach assistants. But all in all, a pretty solid team. Clearly, it's got its superstars. It's got some pieces that do important things. Other than killing that fucking thrower, I would probably be happy with everything on this team.
I've worked out who he's putting the dump off to. The blitzer with catch.
Could be.
Okay.
I'd never noticed that at first. That's
I didn't even notice it a second.
I mean, the
The
thing is, if you've
strong
got
arm.
an agility 5 blitzer, that's your fucking thrower, right? I mean,
No, Agility 5 Blitzer's
Yeah,
the guy
dude,
that you
yeah.
throw into a cage.
What?
How the hell is this elf talk with throwing the ball? You throw the,
What?
the opposing player.
You throw it to the poison player?
No, you throw the opposing player. You throw the player himself. Not throwing the ball.
I have no idea what is happening right now.
We're training you not to be an elf.
No, I don't think you're doing it right. It's making 0 sense, and I'm just getting more confused.
Well, Gim has just announced that himself and Momo start their UWS semi-final in 20 to 30 minutes. That's the United We Stand semi-final.
We had better hurry up then so people can catch that. Who do we got next?
Oh, sorry. My headphone just fell off my head. Next is Sheds on Fire. That sounds like a chant you would have at a party.
Poor Sheds had a rough season last season. His lizards aren't bad. He doesn't play bad. It was just one of those seasons where nothing fucking worked for the dude.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, he had a jig season.
That's happened to my lizards before.
Yeah, that's true too.
Come on, Vision Ball.
His team's
And my
mostly healthy though.
Destiny feed is crystal clear.
It's not a bad looking team. I think I don't know.
I'd get rid of that strength 1 skink.
I think there's too much mighty blow tackle block going on and needs a little bit more break tackle maneuverability. Wait, what skink are you getting rid of? The 1 strength?
Yeah, the
No
sneaky
way.
get.
That's like my favorite piece on the team. That little fucker with stunty, he's just gonna wander through there and step on your shit and sure he's
Wander
gonna die,
out.
but
Yeah,
I'd
he's
just
gonna
keep
take
him-
a
I'd
3
keep him
dice
on
and
there.
then...
Yeah, I'd keep him on there until he, his life pans out. It's gonna eventually end in terrible death. But at this point, he's used for that one thing. You know what I mean? He's not trying to pick up the ball and score with him, except in a last resort to, get a couple squares. That guy's strictly for fouling at this point. And I would keep him around just for that. Don't level him up.
What do you think
Don't do
of
anything.
piling on the Crocs?
Yeah, it looks cool.
that's awesome.
And Projaki's saying again that he needs another reroll.
Lots of sure feet on these skinks. That's a little bit weird. Wonder what that's for.
Oh my god, 5 rerolls. He's all over it. 1910.
He's got 3 lodge skinks. 1 with movement up.
Have you looked at Facetune? Did you know you have a fan?
Sorry, I'm laughing because the authorities now choked on his soda because of Projaki.
View from the air.
He does have 3 blodge skanks.
Yeah, he's got jugs on the fucking croc. He's got block on all the sources but 1. I don't know what he's using 5 rerolls for.
I mean, his really bad luck.
Maybe this is a passing team too.
Best way to impress your shareholders.
That could be though. Like, he did have a shit season last season. I don't know. It wasn't that he was doing anything wrong per se. He just, I don't know. I took a few opportunities to try to remove that croc score. That's for sure. He doesn't pile on as much as you think he would because he's gonna get the shit dialed out of him.
Yeah, that's it. I'd fill the crap out of it.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love a good Crocs, if he's on the ground, I'm probably gonna stomp on him.
So Jake's looking at this as a lizard coach in a prior life. What would you do differently here?
More guard. I don't know.
What would you replace?
I mean, either more guard or more break tackle. You need, like with the lizards, with the SARS, you either need the guard or you need the break tackle to break away. Like if you're gonna get the guard, then you're standing where you're standing and you're using your SARS to protect. If you break tackle, then you're trying to be more mobile with everything. But I mean, he has the Mighty Blow block tackle. It's just he I might have only gone one piece like that and more pieces for protection. You know what I mean? Because you got your killer, now you have another block Mighty Blow tackle piece. You have a blodge Mighty Blow tackle piece already. I don't know.
He's got a lot of blodge sources.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got more than one blodge source too. So I mean, he's rolled a lot of doubles. I just would have skipped some of them and probably got guard.
What are we gonna get to see again?
Yeah, I think he's playing for the long game.
Guard. Yeah, I mean, you want at least 4 guard source on a lizard team, if you ask me. That's just my play style.
I think he's also been playing at Hunt the Elves with the fact that he's got 3 tackle Mighty Blow.
Right. I mean, and if he was in a division with a lot of elves, then that totally explains the build. You know, because elves are like a lizard kryptonite.
I don't think we had a lot of elves. I think there was Stumps Rats and there was Projecki. I'm not sure if there was... Oh yeah, I guess there was a couple of those.
It might have been as he's been heading up the divisions. He does have a few guys that aren't going to like this team, but...
Right. But, I mean, all in all, it's a solid team. He just... If I was going to go from here, I would either put more guard or more break tackle on it, just so you're either more mobile, or both. Split it up. You got 6 stars, you know what I mean? You know.
Yeah,
cool.
I'd be starting to spam both guard and break tackle now, but he's not really got any guys that are that close to leveling. He's got one that's MVP away.
Yeah.
So who's next, and while we're looking that up, what is the over-under on how many weeks that Kraxagor is going to last? Will he make it through the season, or is this his last?
Next is Baldwin. Yeah, I reckon the crops will last.
He'll last just because he has pile on and people are going to foul him. Like, I remember I had a Crocs die on like a both down, looking against a damn lineman, a Bretonian lineman or something, and he died and fucking 8-po'd out. Like, what the hell? I was pissed.
So we got holy smokes, some humans.
Holy smokes.
It's a team full of tuberculosis.
Nice.
We've got we got 3 rerolls, no cheerleaders, no coach assistants. We've got an ogre with guard and stand
We've got a dirty player. We have a dirty player.
Yes. He is just a novice, though.
Yeah, stomp on his nuts.
It looks like
I see what he did.
Thrower steals all of the SPP, but I only noticed it just after you said it there about how all the names seem to be cigarette brands.
Yeah, well, and they're all churchy too. You know, you got the bishops, the cardinals, the pastor, the abbots, and the novices, and then they're all cigarette companies. So, yeah, he did a dual,
double themed.
Yeah, double themed. Yeah, dual themed theme. Fancy. I like it. I approve.
Do you approve of the 2-catcher human build?
Yeah.
I prefer more catchers.
What's that?
I prefer more.
More?
For the speed.
Oh. You go all 4?
Yeah, generally. Definitely 3, sometimes 4.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we've got a killer up there under the ogre. We've got a little bit of blodge guard, some support going on with the other blitzers. The other one must be a new replacement. Thrower is pretty good, solid build. He's got one of the catchers, looks like to be built as a sacker, dirty player, and a kicker. There's not anything that really super stands out on this team as, amazing, but the results have been there. Baldwin's been consistently working his way up. He's got a 12-6-6 record, which is pretty solid, especially for humans, I'd say, in the B&T world. Anything you guys can point out here that you like, don't like?
Not really. I kind of agree. It looks like it's early stages team. two players seem to be hogging all the SPP, that thrower and the blitzer. So the fact that it's the thrower that's hogging the SPP rather than the catcher means that he's protecting it well. The two blodge blitzers is nice. All they really need now is stand firm.
Hearthstone X3 sponsoring the sport when you were playing, Bob?
Well, polishing cream manufacturer? No.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good human team to me.
Looks like when it gets developing slightly more, it's going to be absolutely disgusting, but for now, there's nothing I can really complain about it.
No, yeah, not at all. I agree. I agree with you there. It looks like a good team. They got everything they need to compete. Plus a couple little extras. Nothing to write home about, but also nothing to overlook. If you're playing them.
Easy enough. Well, who do we got next?
Birds was asking when the other divisions are getting done. Do you know when Cole's doing them at all, or
there's talk of the weekend, I believe. I believe Cole and Tony W would be matching up to do some of the Div 6, Div 7s probably tomorrow night, maybe, I think, or maybe Friday. I don't remember how it worked. Sometime soon, there's going to be a Dream Team and Division 1 show. That's probably going to happen balls late at night because we're trying to get Midway Monster to be on that one. And that leaves, Division 2, I think, will be Shad and Groovy. So whenever the fuck those guys get together and do it.
So next, we have Sparky's disgusting, infested Nurgle. Wow.
Sparky.
14 players. 3 rerolls.
That would be B&T Dr. Flu's men, I presume?
That is the one.
Okay. He's got a lot of Dr. Flu's men, so... Alright.
He's got a block beast that's on the verge of leveling.
Oof. Always good.
And he seems to have spammed Mighty Blow block on the Nurgle Warriors. The only thing that this team's really lacking, in my opinion, is guard.
Yeah, and that really came into play. Sparky and I met in the playoffs last season, and the guard is really what put me over to get the win against them. It's good to go the killy route and such. The Nurgle Warriors level so slow that it's hard sometimes to be patient, and you want to throw that Mighty Blow on there and watch them, get more and more levels. But the guard really, in my opinion, makes it a more consistent team.
Because he's only got the 2 claw, I wouldn't even say that he's gone very killy with his build. Although having 2 of the Pestigors dedicated to sacking is surprising.
It's not bad though.
No, it's not bad. It's just not how I would build it.
But yeah.
It's not a build I've ever seen before with 2 of them for sacking. I always put wrestle on 1, but I've never thought of putting it on 2.
Yeah, and I mean it was a nightmare to deal with this team, even through it all. Sparky's a pretty good coach. He knows what he's doing, and every potential hit that you take is gonna be a chance that never moves you. It's not a kill team like you say, I guess. It's but it's still they pack a punch.
It's bashy, but for Nurgle to be a kill team for me, he would have needed to have spammed claw, which. He's got 1 maneuverable claw, and he's got 1 strong claw, which is easy to use both every turn.
Right, I mean, the claw on the Pestigor is essentially strength 4 because, you're not really using it, unless you're blitzing people. I guess you can mark them, but you can make it a strength 4 as long as you haven't used your blitz every turn if you needed to. As an option.
Damn. Horny goats.
Yeah, I like the way he built it. he didn't overdo it with the claw. He has just enough to scare people, you know, and use it effectively. Because, you know, if he has his warrior on the line, there's a guy on the line he could possibly be removing. Then he has his blitzer, Pestigore, to do it as well. He's got 3 sackers.
I'm gonna break off for a minute here, real quick. There's a staff thing I gotta do real quick, and then I'm gonna hop back in.
Starting the UWS semi-final?
Yeah, that'd be the one.
I'm doing it just now.
Oh, you fucker. Okay. Alright, did you get... Nah, fuck it.
But yeah, I mean, other than the guard being, you know, the lack of guard, other than that, I mean, the team looks like it's well on its way, and, you know, Nurgle's disgusting either way.
Nurgle is not disgusting. Nurgle is beautiful. And this is one of my things that I like about Nurgle, is that they give you control of how to build a team, but it's not like Chaos. Chaos is like, here's everything. Fucking do whatever you want, you know? Maybe not agility, but, you know, strength, general, mutations, all kinds of shit. Figure it out. Have fun. Nurgle's a little bit more linear, but still this is, you know, compared to, like, say, my Nurgle team, this is very different. I know Sam's bringing in a Nurgle team this season, is what the rumor is, and they, I believe, are also different, and none of them are really wrong. It's just you kind of take what Nuffle gives you and find the best way to make it work.
Right.
Who do we have next? Will Dio's finishing up that other business.
The next one is Tony.
Tony W.
Tony
Finally, some fucking high elves.
Ugh.
Yeah, bro.
Finally. Bring a little bit of cleanliness to this dirty frickin' play pool.
Thirsty, Bob?
Always, Jim.
Well, how about a refreshing glass of
Sitcom
blood wine?
Sluggers. TV 1920. Fan factor of 9.
That's
3
beautiful.
rerolls. 3 rerolls and 1 cheerleader.
One
No
cheerleader,
assistant
no
coaching.
coach assistant. It seems everyone seems to go for the cheerleader over the coach assistant.
Because she's better looking.
It's
So-
almost as good looking as the strength 4, strong arm, accurate thrower.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just waiting for Jim.
What don't you like about that, Jim? Explain.
The strong arm is bloat. The accurate plus the strong arm is bloat. The strength 4 on the thrower, I guess you could make an argument for it, but to me it feels like the last piece you want strength on an elf team is your thrower. But, I mean, this is not a bad team. He's got the agility, he's got the leap and the blodge. That's kind of fun. He's got a lineman and a catcher with strength up. That catcher is going to be invaluable. It'll be interesting to see how he builds them after the core set of blodge.
Tackle next.
Think so? You think he's going to be a killer?
I would build him as a killer. I don't see any other build for him.
Well, he's already got one catcher with Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
But he's got strength 4. He's the cat.
Well,
How's the
then
Sounds
put leap
like
on
a
him.
killer's name.
Just dive him into the cage.
That don't mean I miss her. She took everything.
Oh my god. You guys just want to see elves die.
Family secret.
I know, frenzy.
No. Well, yeah, maybe. Frenzy's not bad. Frenzy can be fun.
I was gonna say, Frenzy's not a bad move on that.
No, this is not a bad team. He's got a little bit of everything. You know, it's almost feels unfocused, but it also feels like it's just a bunch of options, so he can make the decision in game of how he wants to go about finding a win.
Right.
And
Right. I mean, and also it's, you know, he's got a lot of stuff that's just still only 1 level or whatever. But yeah, I mean, everything else looks pretty solid to me. And Jim doesn't like the thrower. I
Yeah,
I think it makes sense. He's got strength up and a strong arm. I mean, that that's that makes sense story lore wise, you know. Matthew Malone, he's got one big ass arm that he just punches people with, or fucking whips a ball down the fucking.
See, no one goes near him because of what he does with that strong arm.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the left or the right.
Got bigger.
I think I've decided it is not a hangover that's giving me this headache. Alright, who's the next team?
Sure it's both.
The Authority loves strong arm on the elf, so I think that means
There's no way.
Jim is wrong.
There's no way.
So, next is my king, Stevie.
Oh, this guy. This is gonna be fucking dwarfs again.
Yeah.
The Golden Grimbeards are, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Their motto's grrr.
Yep, that's because that's the only fucking motto a dwarf team can come up with. They just do syllables, they don't do words because they're just not smart enough.
Grrr.
They saw it on a Frosted Flakes box.
Astro Granite Stadium, I like. 2 assistant coaches and 2 cheerleaders. He's not letting that other division get over on him. Rerolls.
This is just a beautiful
Going in
team.
with 160k.
And the Death Roller!
Yeah, got a Death Roller. Love it.
Troll Slayer with armor up. I would have more than likely taken the movement instead, but
I think
we've got another following the theme of movement up, movement down guy.
I think if I had to choose what to do differently here, I would delete it and play elves.
But you would be wrong.
You would be wrong. Because elves don't have a Death Roller.
It's the closest thing to a valid argument I've ever heard.
The thing that confuses me about the movement up, movement down thing that goes on, how the hell do people get movement up? I've never seen it. I played Blood Bowl since it came out. All these people have a skill up.
Play it until he levels up instead of just letting him die.
Oh.
So you gotta roll something other than triple skulls, Jigs.
My mediocrity precedes me. Now I get it.
Well, these are dwarves, and I don't see any reason to spend time on them.
Yeah. Ananias pointed out the
skull.
exact problem with this team. They're 17-20 or 18-10 when the guy wakes up from his missed next game, and there's 3 guard on the whole team.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough. But he's also got, strength on the runners, definitely going to help.
Right.
It's not bad. I feel like this team's maybe taken a few beatings as it's gone up the ranking. The Dauntless on the Blitzer is really fucking weird to me. Why would you Dauntless a Blitzer?
A lack of guard.
A lack of guard?
You've now got an armor 9 Troll Slayer that doesn't follow up.
Oh, you've got red dice waiting to happen is what you have right there. That's a weird gamble.
No,
but it's a gamble. There's odds to everything, Jim.
You throw a Dauntless when you've got a 1 dice and the chance that it's a 2 dice.
Right.
No, I mean, that's something dwarves might do, but nobody thought dwarves were smart to begin with.
Well, we obviously just proved that dwarves are smarter than elves.
What? Why? Because of Death Roller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's... I guarantee, if you look into the fucking
how
lore...
to actually use Dauntless.
If you look into the fucking lore, I bet you an elf built a Death Roller.
No way.
No dwarf is smart enough to make that machine.
No way.
No, an elf probably stood in front of a Death Roller trying to stop it from touching one of their precious little trees.
Talismans are us.
That's
Sounds
where
right,
the
though.
skull came.
Sounds right.
Where the skull came from on the spikes.
So who's next?
I think we need to look at these dwarves some more. But
Fuck these dwarves.
well,
I like the
if you're
names.
into that kind of stuff, you know. Oh, Stevie's always great for naming his teams.
Yeah.
But
Colm Rat
Yeah.
Smasher, the dope roller.
next,
I like the.
we have
Should be Elf
something
Destroyer,
that
but
should not have made it to Division 3, but it's there, and it's staying there. Goblins.
Yes,
nice.
Yudlagar.
I like the sound of this team. Goblin, 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 goblin.
I've developed a
1020 TV. This
real
is,
soft spot for goblins recently.
This is
Uh,
excellent. Ha, I've realized that goblins are really soft recently.
Dick. No, Yud is one of my favorite to watch. Like, he's a brilliant goblin coach, consistent CCL qualifier. He's what I want to be when I grow up as a goblin. Looking at his team, he's got a troll with guard and block, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's
Gotta love
beautiful.
the guard block troll.
so
Look at this guy.
he's
Didn't
either
even take
lost
an
all
able.
his positionals, or well, what are you going to use the apple for? The trolls that regen, or
Yeah, the
things
trolls
that
of region,
are
or
easily replaced?
just what's easy to replace?
Bank of Outdoor.
Everything else.
When you have to buy fucking 6 goblins every time you play jigs, nothing's easily replaced.
He's got 14. He
only
obviously
played me
does
once.
better with them than you.
Right. He probably
but-
buys bribes, Jim.
Stadium.
Yeah, fuck off. Forgot all about that.
He's sitting with the Nuffle Altar.
Doesn't score on turn 7 with no bribes.
So, with the Nuffle Altar, he's going to be inducing star players and
Absolutely.
still be left with enough money in this division to buy as many bribes as he could possibly use, as well as wandering apothecaries and babes. So, unless you can properly remove the entire team, it's coming back.
Yeah, that's a great like build for goblins. You know what I mean? He just has a lot of them. He's only got that one troll leveled up, looking good. His TV for this division is just going to be killer. He's going to be bringing in all kinds of good stuff. I smell. I love the name. I smell, like eyeball smells, because like how the fuck do you even smell with your eyeball?
What is happening right now?
And
Are you guys-
Is
Yuvlogger has come up with the perfect response to Jim's nonsense. What are apothecaries?
Right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, it's great.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it. It's brilliant.
Plenty of inducement money. Yeah.
To join the
Look at that.
Just-
Look at that Looney. Looney is almost about to level. He just needs one more MVP.
Yeah, just has to catch a
Forfeit
ball.
a payment, don't
What?
Yeah, I know. It was a joke.
He can catch a ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can.
Nice.
But he would only need to throw it to get the SPP.
So
yeah, that's
this
true.
team, if we're looking at it, we have to consider that pretty much every game it's probably going to have a Ripper or something else like that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
will have Ripper, and then do you induce a second chainsaw, or do you induce another ball and chain?
Or both.
I love Fungus. Fungus is like my favorite. I might take Fungus over Ripper in some cases.
I'd imagine
But,
Yud's good enough that he knows what inducement to take against what team.
Right.
Yeah, that's like Goblin 101. I'm trying to learn that right now. There's a few guys that are very cool about goblins trying to help me figure it all out, and it's kind of the universal mystery of goblins. Once you unlock that, you become cool like Yudlagar and can actually do cool things and not just die to jigs.
So I think the only team that he's not really going to be looking forward to playing is Stevie's Dwarves.
Yeah, dwarves suck.
Your blood after they've murdered you.
Well, who we got next?
the last one is the Authority himself.
Put me in, coach.
I love the name. Love the team name.
Gablowski, get in there.
Big Jobo Hairyfoot comes back from the dead to talk about his remarkably short tenure as captain of the Greenfield Grass.
I keep inviting teams instead of looking at them. So all these teams are getting invited to the battlefield.
Teams are getting... Oh, man. If you don't know how to cancel tickets, I'll show you how to cancel it.
Oh no, I know how to do it, I just probably won't.
Oh my god. So, tell me what you see there, former Liz coach Dr. Jiggs.
I'm looking. Well, he's got a food area. 3 re-rolls, 1750, fan factor 12.
Must be of a sufficient size.
He's got a strength up, AG up. Armor down, skink. Broadside step.
That guy's
Still
there
good.
until he dies.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it should be sooner rather than that later. It's armor down and niggled.
Yeah. The idea is to not let him get hit.
But every other coach has the idea of hit it.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't try to hit it either.
Because it's an absolute nightmare to
can
deal
spend-
with. Movement
Well, yeah, you
8
can spend all
that
day
dodges
hitting a
through
block-
tackle zones
a
on the
block
2
side
plus.
step. Right. Yeah.
And a
it's
3 plus flick up in a tackle zone.
definitely an abomination, which is why it, has armor down and a niggle. I mean, it's 1750. Wow. Yeah, I mean, he's got a tackler, he's got block, he's got mighty blow, he's got some break tackle peppered in there.
Lacking
He's got
in
diving
guard and
tackle
he's
and a
lacking
blotch.
in break tackle.
Yeah. I mean, I would try to get a little more guard, but it's tough to build when. I mean, he has a couple SARs that are ready to level up.
Did you know?
To SPPOA, 4 SPPOA. Once those guys get some skills, we'll see what he picks.
Actually hates sport
I mean,
and would rather play with
not-
action figures instead.
Not a bad lizard team.
This has nothing to do with him bad.
Got
I
everybody
think
they
the-
need. They got an extra skink. They got 2 blodge skinks, 1 with diving tackle.
I think the Cracks could probably use some pylon. Other than that, Cameo
I mean,
is certainly a
And
giant
the
pain
Crux
in the
has
dick.
block. It's a block Sigor, so I mean, there's
Yeah, it's all
all
it's
he
all
needs is break
working out here.
tackle. All he needs is break tackle on that Crocs, and
gross.
he's got mobile guard that is strength 5 block. And I would after break tackle, I'd probably just get stand for him just to be a dick.
So Cameo is an interesting case because that's 200K wrapped up in one player with 86.
It
He's
is,
going to
and
be a
that's-
target.
And that's because I kept looking at it. I'm like, why is he 1750? Because all these other guys don't have skills, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So I mean,
Right, but the best case scenario is if teams can get 2 Cameo early in the game and knock him out, early on. Because once that thing dies, Abo here is going to be in range where he's going to be pulling fucking Silly Billy every game, or he's not the sort of guy you just want to give free inducement money to. At 1550,
right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so Ananya in the chat is pointing out 2 contradicting terms. He's saying that the coach is horrible, but he's good enough to have got 12 fan factor. And just boosting up his TV
Yeah.
even more.
Well, this does happen to be the couple blood winning team that you're looking at right now.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I can
But
see
he's
it. I mean, it's
a nightmare enough
Okay.
of a coach that getting to that cameo it's something that
Right.
takes all game to.
Oh no, I hit him
Generate
like
the block.
3 or 4 times. I hit it like 3 or 4 times. The fucker doesn't die.
yeah.
Okay, but people who know how to block, like dwarves, not Whatever the hell you play.
Nurgle, I play the team that kills dwarves.
He said not whatever the hell you play. Oh, Jim. Oy. Yeah, I mean,
So,
looks like a fun team to play, though.
This the last team in the division? Is that what you said?
That was the last team in the division.
Then we've got to go through and pick our top 3 to promote. Then
that is correct.
Jinxie, who do you pick out of the Division 3 teams?
I picked the Goblins. Move you up. Move them up.
Nice. Division
Smartest
2
Goblin
Goblins.
team build I've ever seen. 2 trolls, all goblins, no levels other than a troll. Perfect. You get all that inducement. You got the Knuckle Bolter. Yeah, I go for the Goblins.
All right. Dr. Dio?
I'll have to go with the Dorks.
Really, with Jarvo's boys?
Yeah. They're the only team that wasn't lacking anything, really. Other than the Goblins.
Well, you guys leave me no choice. I really thought that Dio was going to go with Stevie there. I thought he was going to... that dwarf flag was going to fly high. This is another division that has a few, I think, that even you guys didn't mention. I think Baldwin has a good shot. I think Sparky has a good shot.
Right.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Stevie's got a good shot. But you can't bet against the authority. Dr. Abonan is going to move on up to Division 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that definitely won't be struggling, but at the same time, there's a lot of teams that seem to be still in the development stage.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing about it is, all of these coaches are dangerous coaches, even in the development stage. So
yeah,
that's not even
why
so much a
Division
pass.
3.
Yeah.
That's how fuckers like me can just barely keep up with them having a bloaty ass Nurgle team. But all right, well, thank you, gents, for joining me. I'm gonna go find some form of lunch here, I think.
Me too, and I'm gonna feed the tuberculosis.
Fucking jigs.
Yeah.
But, good luck to all of you this season.
So
That's a good point.
Anania's just
Yeah,
pointed
good luck
out
to you
that
guys as
we're
well.
talking about Division 3. So
Yeah.
whoever wins, if it's the Goblins, they're in Division 1.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's what I said.
I don't listen to you.
You fucker.
Right.
Alright, well,
Alright, gents.
So Fant Fox had asked
Have a good
to
one,
have
Sears.
a look out for Jackie's team, so I fired it up on the Twitch just while we're talking there.
it's gross. It's so gross.
Yeah, there's a few players that when they die the team will implode as much as Wood Elves can, but the whole team is brilliant.
It's gross.
What's gross?
Per Jackie's team.
Oh.
Yeah, even as an elf coach, that's gross.
Oh, Jim. I never
Stump's
thought I'd
team
hear
is
you
fucking
say the
gross too,
word.
man. Both of those two teams, they were a fucking nightmare last season.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can't
But anyway, I
Yeah, I
suppose
don't
we're
like it.
better call it so I can go and get some dinner.
Alright, boss, well, thank you
Starving.
again.
Alright.
You guys have a good one, and good luck to
Cheers for
everybody
the
this
fun.
season.
And catch you
Alright.
later. Hopefully everyone has fun.
Later, guys.
Bye!